Finding a therapist for me was a bit of a daunting experience at first, because if I already was having a hard time reaching out to my family and friends, I'm like, what am I going to do with this complete stranger who I don't know?
There was hesitation because I felt like, what can they do really to help me? You know, I feel like the general feeling out there is that just talking to someone isn't going to help you, but you know, unless you do it, you really don't understand how much it helps you. But it's so much deeper than just talking out what you've been going through.
It actually took a few tries of meeting with somebody, talking to them, kind of like interviewing therapists. And when I first started, I thought that I had to just go with the first person I met. But it's kind of the same way in dating. You have to go, and if that first person, you don't really resonate with them and you don't feel like maybe they're the right person for you, it's completely okay to say to that therapist, hey, like, I don't think this is the right fit, but thank you for your time.
I went to the psychiatrist and I took the bipolar test and I was classic. It's a relief to say, okay, this is what it is, and we can deal with it. And it took a while to get the right combination, the right cocktail of meds, so that I wasn't like sleeping all day, or, you know, I mean, we finally got the right combination of medication to deal with that so that I wouldn't have such low lows or high highs, you know, so that it'd be more even keel.
I'll say 5 months into it, I started seeing results. I started believing in myself again. I started learning that I was okay, that I wasn't gonna die. We have to take the first step, which is crossing that door. It took me 5 weeks to get my first appointment. I have a friend who just is feeling weird. I brought him to that place to get his appointment. I didn't have the chance, I did it my own. Because I always see on the internet, on social media, if you feel something, get help. Call this number. That's what I did.
I remember telling her I felt like I was in a lull and like complaining about being in a lull. And she just looked at me and she was like, okay, so be in the lull. And I was just like, why? And she had a way of doing that. I think there are a lot of breakthroughs of that, of her just being like, okay, so just accept what's happening instead of like rejecting it so avidly, because that just resistance causes it to grow.
I don't think there is necessarily always going to be one treatment that is right. Maybe it is one thing for somebody, but it can kind of evolve over time. Maybe one therapist is working for you for a while, maybe you want to change it up. It's managing and treating for a whole lifetime. So there are going to be times for me, I know, where I need to change my approach of how I deal with things, and maybe sometimes I need to be talking to somebody a little bit more. Maybe there's times where I'm okay on my own and I'm just sufficient with seeing family and friends, but I will say for me, therapy did help a lot.
I had stopped going to therapy for a while because I felt better for a long time. And then I had another big episode, a big change in my life, and it gets worse if you leave it untreated. So it just kept getting worse and worse, and then I was like, I need medication. Like, I need like outside help besides just going and talking to someone. So I sought medication out. That really helped me a lot.
I'd say I still work with anxiety and depression, but I don't see them as a thing like emblazoned across my chest. I see them as things I experience and feel and get to work with and mitigate and take care of, just like I would a cold. I think that any time that you're going somewhere where you're gonna have your own story reflected back to you and be forced into self-awareness, that's not a bad thing. Therapy can look like different things, like if therapy for you is somatic therapy, or if it's like, there's different ways of going through therapy, but I think everyone would benefit from examining their own story. And ideally, that's what therapy is.
Going back into your past or where trauma happened is vital, because it really explains a lot. When you get that awareness, it changes, you see more options ahead of you. Whereas before, you're just seeing this one option.
Go get help. We live in a country with help, you know, and it just might take a few weeks, but once you're in and you're patient with yourself and patient with your therapist, you're on your way to good.